So hello and welcome to not Jita but Dodixie, which is another trade hub, and I am sitting on the station, not on the gate. If I just scroll out a bit, this is the undock, and this is the warp-in point where I'm sitting at for two of the gates. One comes in from Botane and one comes in from, oh no, there's two gates come into that point. Any ship that warps to the station could land a couple of kilometers short, and it gives me time to scan it. I'm afraid there's a little bit of lag. My computer doesn't seem to be doing so well today, so apologies for the very low FPS that's going on here. So you might be able to see already I've got a slight difference with the setup. There are no loot thieves in Dodixie. That could also be because there's hardly anybody flying here at all. It's about 5 to 10% the amount of traffic that Jita has. My intention was to spend a good few hours here to see if I could get anything of worth, and then I've remembered that the Doctor Who event begins and I want to do something about that, so this is going to be a very short visit to Dodixie. I'm going to be here for an hour. So my setup today is I've got 3 thrashers and I've got my booster. He's in a Gnosis, but he's also trained up on information bursts now. He's got his leadership 5, he's got his other support skills, and now he's able to give me an additional boost, which means I can lock onto things a little bit faster, as can everyone else that's in the fleet. And I've also got my looter ship, which is still the Jaguar. And we've all made the trek from Jita to Dodixie to do this. My setup here is these bookmarks are where people come to from those gates if they're autopiloting. And finally down here is anybody who's coming in from the Meaves gate. It's a bit further away, but I do have a thrasher down there as well in case someone's autopiloting or comes into the station from that point. When you look at the market here, so if we look at large skill injectors, you can see that most of them are in the market next door. Now the problem with that is tethering. That's a problem for all gankers. So you can see here, because this is an NPC station, you've got this couple of kilometers gap where even if you select warp to station, you could fall short, and that gives us the opportunity to attack. That doesn't happen if you're warping to a player owned station such as the market next door. You warp to it and you go from being in warp to being tethered when you land, which means you are safe. I can't lock you at all, I can't scan you, so ganking on a player owned station such as that is really not possible unless somebody undocks and is AFK to the point where the ship rolls out of the tethering field. But that's not generally going to happen, and certainly not enough for you to sit there and wait for it to happen. So the way that I get these points is to warp to the gate and then warp to the station and bookmark where I land, and similarly do the same with autopiloting as well. When I started ganking, I was part of a corporation called Stay Frosty, who are the finest low sec PvPers in the game, and obviously I was in high sec, and I think I was seen as not quite the black sheep, but definitely one that was doing things slightly different. And it's the best corp. If you're going to do low sec PvP, even if you're just a beginner, get involved with Stay Frosty. They're based out of Uleta, but the problem with being in a corp that you're not running is that you don't have full control over everything that you might need. For example, corporation bookmarks, or being able to set contact levels for reds and blues and whatnot. There's lots of different spots that you may choose to gank. You might choose a trade hub, such as Jita, Dodixie or a Mar. I can't go to a Mar because of my settings. A lot of level 4 missions run a few years back have kind of wrecked me a bit. Or you could choose to gank on the routes between the trade hubs. You tend to find that the routes between the trade hubs at some point go down to 0.6, 0.5, which is still high security space but quite low, which means it's got a slower Concord reaction time, giving you more time to cause damage. Some of the trade routes even go down to low sec, and low sec's totally different game mechanics. So you wouldn't get concorded for attacking someone, but you would get attacked by gate guns, which is still a severe amount of damage. So depending on what kind of ganking you want to do, how many different characters you want to use, what your skills are, what ships you can fly, there's something for everybody. So thanks again to everybody who's been commenting on the videos and sending feedback. I say this every time, but it really is appreciated, and I'm very surprised by how much people seem to like the videos, how much they comment on them. There's not an awful lot of competition. So if it is the first time that you've started ganking, then this actually wouldn't be too bad, just for you to figure out your fit, the mechanics of things, and to get comfortable and confident. So the gank spot that I've got here is tried to be around 8 to 10 kilometers from where the ships are actually going to land and dock, where I'm going to shoot them from both gates, so it's in the middle, which is not bad. This is a pretty decent spot. So the station that I'm looking at in Dodixie, because there are a few here, is 920. A comment on a video that was left yesterday asks a couple of questions. A comment comes from John Ratcliffe, who says, so I've set myself up with a Gnosis and Thrasher and had one gank today, then sat in Jita for 2 hours with loads of scans and nothing worth shooting, which happens. Some questions please. When you scan and see the cargo value, what is the threshold before ganking? Presumably more than the 25 million ISK the fit costs. How do you deal with the kill rates on you? Could your fit smash a stationary AFK Dramiel? I hesitated earlier and lost the opportunity, thanks. So the questions about the threshold of a target before I would consider pulling the trigger, I'm going to do a separate video about that because there's so much to it. But how do I deal with the kill rates? Well, that is in a way tied to the value of the ship you want to kill, because it's a cost that's associated with you. If you've got a kill rate that's 20 million on you and you're flying a ship that's just over 20 million, you might just have to bite the bullet, activate that kill rate yourself when you're in a Corvette, and just get rid of it that way. If it's above that, then keep the kill rate, but you have to be wary. Now it's a lot easier to be wary in Jita because I'm sitting at 0 on a gate. If I'm sitting here and someone activates a kill rate, I'm kind of stuck in the middle of nowhere. So kill rates are just part of it. So if you're having to pay the value of your ship in a kill rate to get rid of it, you have to factor that into your costs the next time that you pick a target. And if you don't factor that cost in, you have to factor in the cost that you're going to lose an extra ship, maybe not to a gank, but because somebody else has activated a kill rate. So every kill that you get not only has to pay for the ship you've just lost, or your next ship, however you look at it, but then also a further ship which you might lose to the kill rate someone's given as a result of that gank. Your second question there, could your fit smash a stationary AFK Dramiel? It depends. It depends on the fit of the Dram. It could have expanded cargo holds in it, which I've seen, or it could be tanked up and 3 thrashers wouldn't crack it. So it completely depends on the fit. Now Dodixie is a 0.9 system, which means that Concord will be here in a matter of seconds as soon as you pull the trigger. So again, that makes this the same as Jita, what we call alpha ganking, which means when you're hitting your target or choosing your target, take into account you're probably only going to get off one shot. Now, I know that there's no way that I can kill an omen, but I'm just scanning to see what people have. Now that's not necessarily a bad thing to do. If, for example, I scanned that omen and he had a high value item on it, like a large skill injected, then it's worth saving that pilot into your contacts. I've got my contacts arranged in a certain way that would allow me to, for example, set orange to all of my contacts who I think are potential targets. So as soon as that flash of orange comes up, I know that's a potential target. My contacts that I set red are a combination of loot thieves or anti-gankers, people who are generally there to cause trouble. So this video is just being intended to give a little overview of ganking in Dodixie as an alternative to Jita. If you're starting out, I definitely recommend it. If I look at the top kills on Zkill for the last month in Dodixie, the highest is just over, it's less than 2 billion. Any kills in the top 5 there that are of frigates or sizes that could be ganked are as the result of a war deck. Really, that means that there isn't an awful lot of ganking going on in Dodixie. It could be that there's just no active gankers here. So it could just be the best place to come and claim as your own. So that's my overview of ganking in Dodixie. Please, if you liked it, like. Please subscribe as well. And if you've got any questions, any comments, I'd love to hear them. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.